students, I am Amrit. Today we will discuss the chapter for class ninth, The Fun They Had. It is written by Isaac Asimov. Dear students, the chapter is long enough, so I have divided them into two parts. And now in this first part of the video, we will see introduction, page 5, 6, 7. Now, before starting the chapter, I'll give you the introduction. This is a very lively story. It has fun. It is set in the future. It will make you feel love for your school. It is regarding your school life. The setting of the story is in future, when there is no school, no books. The author says how the future generation will miss the school life. It is an imagination by a young girl, Margie, who comes to know her ancestor used to go to school and had lots of fun in the school. You can see, my dear students, here the learning is taking place through computers, virtual classroom, and also you can see here there would be robotic teacher and the students would learn from computers, and they have no knowledge about the book that we have been studying today. Now let's get started without delay. Okay. Margie even wrote about it that night in her diary. On the page headed 17 May 2157, he wrote, "Today Tommy found a real book. It was a very old book. Margie's grandfather once said that when he was a little boy, his grandfather told him that there was a time when all stories were printed on papers." So, my dear students, here Margie is telling that her grandfather once told her that means earlier people used to read through the books. They didn't had all sort of this machine, computers, and all this that we are studying today. They turned the pages, which were yellow and crinkly, and it was awfully funny to read words that stood still instead of moving the way they were supposed to on a screen, you know. And then when they turned back to the page before, it had the same words on it that it had when they read it the first time. So many students, here she is telling that earlier those books were there where means everything was written in letter, and when you turn the page that would be the same letter, not like this of today what we are studying in ebook, that is once we turn all the screen that everything get changes. Here crinkly means with many folds or lines as written in the book. Let's see ahead. "Gee," said Tommy, "what a waste. When you are through with the book, you just threw it away. I guess our television screen must have had a million books on it, and it's good for plenty more. I wouldn't throw it away." Now see, Tommy says that the book is a kind of waste because we don't have many things written there, or we don't get many chapters to read like a ebook where we get in a computers. There we get, he says that there we get millions of books in the computer. "Same with me, same with mine," said Margie. She was 11 and hadn't seen as many telebooks as Tommy had. He was 13. So see here, my students, here Margie is of 11 years old and Tommy is of 13-year old. She said, "Where did you find it?" "In my house." He pointed without looking because he was busy reading in the attic. "What is about?" "It's about school." Now see here, my students, the meaning of attic. Attic means a space just below the roof used as a storeroom, where just below the roof earlier people used to make a small space where they can keep some things. So here uh, she is telling that they had this attic where she found that book. Margie Margie was scornful. "School? What's there to write about school? I hate school." Margie always hated school, but now she hated it more than ever. The mechanical teacher had been giving her test after test in geography, and she had been doing worse and worse until her mother had shaken her head sorrowfully and sent for the county inspector. So see here, Margie says that she does not like this mechanical teacher where they used to just go on teaching, and what they teach also is out of her mind. So she like about the book, and she tells that the way earlier teacher were there, that is somehow I feel that is good. And here she express her unwillingness of studying in a mechanical class where a mechanical teacher is there and teaching her. He was a round little man with a red face and a whole box of tools with dials and wires. He smiled at Margie and gave her an apple, then took the teacher apart. Margie had hoped he wouldn't know how to put it together again, but he knew how all right, and after an hour so there it was again, large and black and ugly, with a big screen on which all the lessons were shown and the questions were asked. So see, my dear students, here uh, Margie is saying that mechanical teacher was not working. Somehow there was some problem, and now she says that there came a county inspector, and she had some wires and all the dials that he can open in that, and she thought that he will not be able to mend it, but the county inspector, he could open them easily and he could mend them, and without uh, much time that the TV screen started working. The part Maggie hated most was the slot where she had to put homework and test papers. She always had to write them out in a punch card they made her learn when she was 6 years old, and the mechanical teacher calculated the marks in no time. Now, see, Maggie is saying that the most thing that she didn't like was that she had to put that in a slot. Slot means a given space where you can put, like today's these days we are putting our pen drive and all that. So there, and she had to do homework and test papers, and while when she was 6 years old she had to do all this work mechanical teacher would say, and she had to do all her work through punch code. You can see here punch code. Punch code means uh, computing language. She had to do learn all these computing language, and she had to do all her homework. The inspector had smiled after he was finished and patted Maggie's head. He said to her mother, "It's not the little girl's fault, Miss Jones. I think the geography inspector was geared a little too quick. Those things happen sometimes. I have slowed it up to an average 10 years level." Now see, the county uh, inspector is saying that, "Miss John, it is not the fault of a little girl, but here the geography sector or the section where these chapters are there, that is too hard. That is above the level of her, and so it is not her fault." So he says that he has made it, and uh, now it will work everything well. Tommy looked at her with very superior eyes. "Because it's not a kind of school, stupid. This is the old kind of book school that they had hundreds and hundreds of years ago," he added loftily. So, my dear students, we can see here that Tommy now he is looking at her and saying loftily, that in a superior way, that everything as if he knows everything. And so he says that uh, it is not now, it is hundred and hundred of years ago that people used to study through the book, and now it is not possible. Now we have to study through our book. Margie was hurt. "Well, I don't know what kind of school they had all that time ago." She read the book over his shoulder for a while, then said, "Anyway, they had a teacher." Now she is telling that whatever maybe at that time they had book and they had a teacher, and they used to laugh, play, join hand in hand, and all they used to enjoy. And so it was a kind of school where it is people used to and students used to study very well. And so she says that, "I am happy that if I could have been in that place or in that school, I would have been much happier than this sort of classes where a mechanical teacher is teaching." You can see here uh, in the picture it is shown that earlier how this class is to take place. All the students, they are sitting here, and a teacher is right now it was teaching from the front. And here Tommy and Margie, they're seeing about the book and just they are looking on it. My dear students, I hope all of you have understood well. Thank you. Have a nice day.